Why, hello there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Mr. Dogbot333 and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order, The Ruin, as Free Britain. Not Free Britain. What am I talking about? So, sorry. The United Kingdom. Last video, we started beating the piss out of Free Britain. Doing quite well, actually. Oh, they got this got. How the fuck did that get fucking occupied by resistance? Are you shitting me? They put all their shit into it? Well, it might not even matter at this point because we are about to take the north. Oi, mate, get us another one, would ya? Killing fascists make me fucking thirsty. A series of cheers followed the announcement for young men gathered behind the counter, all raising their glasses and clinking them up together. Teddy shot the man who'd spoken a thumbs up and began to pour an amber liquid behind the counter. Cheap ale for this slot, not that they could taste the difference. If there's one thing Teddy knew, was that regardless of side, young men just wanted to get drunk. Shutting off the pump with the flip of a switch, he slid the glass smoothly across the counter without spilling a drop. There you go, lad. Hot fight, huh? One of the fire shook said, Traders about surrendered as soon as we showed up. Hot fight happened a few days ago. About the front, chimed in another one of the fighters, helpfully. Different man snorted, No shit, it was the front, Jack. Where else would the fighting be? The men descended to play for bickering, passing food back and forth. They reminded Teddy of last week, too much for comfort. When government troops had stopped in the village, he'd serve him two, pouring beers into waiting glasses and bring meals about. Excuse me. You could see several of them from the window now, being marched about at rifle point. One raised his hand, giving Teddy a mournful look before being pushed onwards. Teddy shrugged. What do you expect him to do? As he turned back away from the window, the young fighter he'd be given a beer, nodded at him. You gotta join us, you know. There's more important things to be doing now than working at a pub. Not so long as you lot are drinking yourselves into stupor like that, isn't? He said, eliciting laughter from the young man's friends. Like hell, he thought privately, it sounded like a lovely way to commit suicide, especially with government reinforcements on the way. Flashing a fake smile, he raised an empty pint glass. Now, who wants another round? Clever guy. Serving both sides. Capitalism at its finest. Corporatism at its finest. Excuse me. We're actually almost making up. Let's do a tax hike so we can get a surplus. Start reaping in some money. Honestly. And also we could probably just fucking... Let's pay our debt off. Yeah. This is what we're doing. This is not how we're supposed to be spending that money at all, but do I care? No. I mean, the war's almost done anyway. We're 78% of the way through. Morita. Sony. Okay. Interesting. Let's not worry about any economy stuff. Let's do stuff that'll help us out a little bit. Are men wavering? We're dealing with constant defections. Of those that are still here, they're considering defections. Those that choose to stay are still confused and scared. Even our foreign soldiers wish to return to Germany. If we allow the situation to continue, London will fall within the month. This cannot be allowed to continue. go, taking Glasgow. Hold on. We're going to the Highlands right now. It's gonna be a bitch to get into. Or to really fight out. It was just Robert's luck that he seemed to have what were, in his opinion, the dumbest cows in England. It seemed to him that the sounds of bullets in the distance would be enough to get any animal to move from self-preservation, but clearly his cows were the exception to the rule. "Move, Daisy!" he hissed, giving the cow ahead of him a gesture to move with a stick. "What, you want to make friends with a bullet? I said move!" Gowing let out a moon protest in response, gazing at him with uncomprehending, dull eyes. He sighed in frustration, resisted the urge to smack the stick into the ground. He could still hear sounds of gunfire in a field far below the hill he was on. It took all he had not to simply run, to leave a stubborn, stupid cows to their fate, but he kept the farm through one war, and damn it if he wasn't going to lose livestock to another. Mustering the courage to look down, he saw a farmhouse under siege and the bodies of a number of government soldiers laying outside. Few could be seen positioned behind barricades, but only a few. Resistance, in contrast, were nowhere to be seen. Though judging by the sounds of the shots, he expected they were somewhere behind the rocks, a few hundred meters before the farmhouse. Must he be winning, judging by the number of government bodies? He hoped they did, honestly, that they'd stick it to wait. What was that roar? No. He thought to himself again, not again. He couldn't bear to see it happen again. A panzer was rolling over the other hill like a great steel beast. He could hear screaming of panic from the rocks, muffled by sounds of a panzer firing. After a while it ceased, and there were no more screams. As for Robert, he continued to stare down the field, all thoughts of cows forgotten. Instead, he thought of the men he saw die the same way 17 years ago. Get a slide instrument off here, and then we can get working on President Lot resigns. Shit, do they? Yeah, they took it. Shit. Hawkins stared out over the gray waters of the Irish Sea with a glower. The Phelan man had been disappointing. The resistance forces had stormed the center of the isle, cutting his men in two, and now here he was, glowering on a ship, fleeing to Bristol. His men had fought well, though. They'd done their best against the odds, but lack of resources and the bad strategic situation they'd been placed had broken them. The evacuation of Southern Pocket, however, was a victory no two ways looking at it. The men around Hawkins had fought for the government on Man. They'd fight for the government on the mainland. That was enough victory for him. "Sir, orders from London. We're being reassigned to the East Anglia front." His adjutant barked from behind him, the Manx Bruges in his voice reminding Hawkins of how he'd been recruited from the few civilians loyal to His Majesty's government as they withdrew. "Very well. Inform the men. We're going back to war, and tell them that London is proud of them. Free Britain sees our evacuation from Man as a natural occurrence. In a sense, they are right. Rumors are they've already received the first grade of weapons from abroad. Not too much, but still enough to cause trouble. Military confidence, 30%. Alright, so it's not the end of the world. We failed there, but possibly was inevitable. There we go, got another encirclement down. Ever since Kurt had joined Luftwaffe, the thing he'd always loved the most about flying was how beautiful the world was at a distance. Far above in the clouds, all the orders, drills, and worldly concerns he usually dealt with melted away, leaving just a beautiful world of tiny trees and rivers below. The world below him now, though, didn't look beautiful at all. In fact, it looked like hell on earth. His plane passed over the husk of a forest, resembling a great gray pity more than anything now. A few spindly trees jutted up in the ground above a field of ash. Wherever Kurt looked, he could see craters left by where shells had struck, and the ruins of a few lonely houses. He'd wondered for a moment where the people who'd lived there had gone. Had they fled north? simply burned to ash when his bombs fell? He probably never knew. He gripped the controls tightly. He had a duty, he reminded himself, a duty to fatherland, to his fear, and to his people. This war was about keeping Germans safe from both American Jewry and their puppets. He had been too young to participate in the West Russian War, but he wasn't stupid. He knew this was war. This was the cost of protecting the German people. There was just something disturbing about seeing it from above in a way he'd never had to before. After several more minutes of flying, the bases finally came into view, much to Kurt's relief. As he brought the plane down, he found himself overwhelmed by a feeling of melancholy. He sat silently in the cockpit for nearly a minute, and he would have sat longer had the other men not come to check on him, to ensure he hadn't passed out from flight pressure. Tomorrow the planes would fly again, and unleash hell once more. Oh, they're almost capitulated. Let's get a rise in rations. Improve our agricultural base. Causes of desertion have been on the rise in the Army, and one of the key reasons is the quality and availability of food. To combat desertion, we shall increase food production and ensure quality meals for every one of our brave soldiers. These meals will be shipped out immediately to the front line to ensure that each soldier is well fed and ready to fight on a full stomach. Like the old refrain says, well-fed soldier does not make you look over your soldier. Your shoulder. I can speak. Allegedly. Good food was a luxury in the British Army. Vic had gotten used to this over the past few months. You get a few packs of hardtack, desiccated meat that had probably gone off a few days beforehand, and if you were lucky, you would receive some nice cold tea to go with it. That was a reality in the life in the Army, and he knew that going in. He longed for his mum's roast pork every now and then, but that was simple nostalgia talking. He'd get plenty of it when they won. As he queued up, however, he was met with a surreal sight. Lads were walking away from the line with non-stale-looking bread rolls in hand, alongside a box that looked to contain non-dried meats. His eyebrows shot up. Vic tapped the shoulder of Henry, the man in front of him. Are you seeing this? Yeah, it's new policy. You get better rations now, apparently. It's supposed to be a way of keeping up morale. Won't see me complaining, he said, flashing a cheeky grin and moving up to get his rations. Vic was of two minds about it. Of course he wanted nice food, but was he really going to be bought out by the simple idea of edible food after so long? It took about 2 seconds for him to solve this moral dilemma, as his stomach growled at the thought. Food was food, after all. Who was he to complain? The heart wants what it wants. Let's get a promise of reward. Boost our GDP. Let's do it. In response to our enemy's numerical superiority, we must launch a publicity campaign to get incentivized. I think they need to remove one of those. To incentivize the public to sign up for the armed forces, we'll promise a Britain that is not just secure from threats abroad and at home, but pledges to build a country ripe for change, a nation where all loyal men and women can build a family in. Hopefully, with these incentives, we shall garner support from the general public and for our crusade against these rebels. I gotta say, this is way better than the old content. I am greatly enjoying this campaign. Yeah, Paisley. I think this is our breakthrough. Yeah, we can do a show of force real quick. Yeah, let's do a show of force. If we are to survive, we need to provide our men hope that victory is even possible. That starts with Cornwall. It's a small peninsula, but even small victories can do wonders to bolster morale amongst the men fighting in the fields. If we can't succeed here, then we have no choice to win this conflict anyway. Nothing left but to gallantly charge forth and achieve glory to inspire our men. I haven't looked at the casualties yet. Holy shit. Oh my god. And like, I haven't done any console trickery. No, nothing. This is just me playing. I didn't think I was that good a player, but yet here I am, just kind of... I'm doing it. Need a hospital in Greater London? Get a hospital in Greater London. You know what? You blokes deserve a bloody hospital, let's be real. Get one in East Yorkshire as well. I doubt we have one in Hampshire. Show force is done. Next we have Cornwall secured. Cornwall has fallen a small victory, but one that we can surely bolster with state propaganda. Let's take pictures of our victory, those that avoid the corpses, of course. We'll distribute those pictures in leaflets and newspapers across country. The resistance will falter, while the loyalists will regain faith in our cause. And let all know, this is only the beginning. We shall be victorious. I am starting to think that we are doing far better right now than we are supposed to be. Just judging by, like, the descriptions of our focuses. The Prime Minister was horrified as he looked out the window. Flames covered the nearby skyline. Building after building, they would practically be unusable soon. Some people ran away from the chaos as others joined the rioters in their quest to become walking flamethrowers, it seems. Prime Minister, Fontaine asked, do you mind telling me what's going on out there? Your face scares me alone. Nalkane gulped and answered with his vocal cord shaking. Andrew, I'm afraid that the people of London are rioting. Fontaine's heart skipped a beat. Shit. Well, one of the Prime Minister's assistants alerted Nalkane, telling him that Vessenmeyer's on the line. Sorry, let me take the call. Before Nalkane could award and Vessenmeyer began. Listen, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm going to only have to say this once, hopefully. I'm going to only have to say this once, hopefully, and I'm going to make it quick. You see the riots outside the little house? They will kill you. They will kill all of us. They will kill your family. If you want to live, I hope you are able to realize that you need to authorize the garrison to move in. You can decide not to, but I cannot guarantee what will happen to you. I do not want to hear a word from you until you've made your decision. Goodbye, Mr. Prime Minister. Nalkane put his phone back into its holder and placed his hand against his forehead. His eyes gazed straight through the desk and countless papers on top. Sir, are you okay? Nalkane woke up from his trance. Yes, I'm doing all right, Andrew. I just got news I'm gonna have to I'm going to authorize the garrison to move in, which I'm gonna have to do. Mr. Prime Minister, I'm afraid you shouldn't listen to that German. Son of the Black Shirts. It's more organized than the German garrison could ever be. Their home country is currently facing a leadership crisis which would obviously cause chaos in the military. While they'd be more helpful than Britain's very own men. When someone swears on your own life, it's hard to deny them, but you make an interesting point. I'll send them in. It's not even gonna matter soon, though. I just gotta say. I mean, we're gonna take fucking Dundee soon. And once we take Dundee, I think that's it. Alright, gentlemen, a little to the right. You in the middle. Your knee's a bit further up. That's right. Soldier nodded to Arnold, moving his knee up further upwards onto the pile of discarded enemy weapons. Arnold grinned. There we go, perfect. Now, hold still. Flash. Working as a professional photographer in Britain was essentially the same as being a full-time propagandist. This was a well-known fact and was not something many would be keen to debate. Weddings and family photos and such were constant. Steady streams of small work, but the real money lay in doing photo shoots like these on behalf of the government. Noble troops standing triumphant over the broken remnants of the enemy. That sort of thing. Arnold found it rather twee in honesty, but money was money. Alright, gentlemen, if I could have one of you all crouching down next to them for this one. The men nodded, moving to regroup. As they did so, however, Arnold caught a glimpse of what was behind the soldiers, and that expressed gold. Broken bodies being pulled out of sight. He knew that this was a battlefield. What kind of idiot wouldn't? But this was the closest Arnold had ever been to the action. For a moment, he wondered who those men were who were being dragged away to be thrown in a pit were when they lived. Then that simple saying re-entered his mind, and all was well again. Money is money. Flash. And we are in the business. The United Kingdom of Great Britain defended her position from Her Majesty's most loyal resistance, and prevented the country from falling into anarchy. There are vast numbers, whose names will never be known, whose deeds will never be recorded. This is a war of the unknown warriors. Interesting. Well, after months of bloody fighting, the British government has unexpectedly regained control of the Isles. As the collaborator regime was widely seen as being caught off guard and woefully underprepared, a victory for the government seemed to be untenable. However, after surviving a harsh winter and countless lives being spent, order had been restored. With the head of resistance, Maxwell Knight, being scheduled for execution alongside other prominent leadership of the uprising, Prime Minister Ronald Nall Kane has hailed the government's victory as being a triumph for order and justice. German military presence is expected to reassert itself on the Isles in the coming weeks, alongside a period of heavy reconstruction. Along with the end of the uprising, however, Nall Kane is expected to step down as Prime Minister. Whoever would take his place is unknown. Britain is chained. Once more. Well, and that's that, then. Everything's been brought back to its proper order. Let's get more civilian factories. We're gonna need a lot to help rebuild. And... uh-oh. That's not gonna be fun, but we'll make sure to hold back there. Sets political power to 100. Wait, no. Okay, expel troublemakers. Send whips to Parliament. Urge for reconciliation. Oh yeah. Well, we bloody well did it. And now we have to live with ourselves. But we'll try to get to living next time. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, gang. Like if you liked, dislike if you didn't. Leave me comments or feedback down in the comment section below. And yeah. That's it for now, gang. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.